All right, creatures of the night, let's talk about a very mid episode of Rampage. We started off the night with Hook and Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, and Danhausen versus Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Evil Uno, and Alex Reynolds. Yeah, what about this makes sense? Sometimes it just seems like, okay, we got a babyface team here. We're going to look for some, heels that we hardly ever use and put them in a situation for them to lose for the millionth time. It's actually annoying. Now, a few minutes into this match, we do have Wheeler Yuta who comes out with some glasses and some weird hairstyle. And I'm just like, whoa, baby, this is not you. Like, whatever this is not you. Now, he's there so he can go sit with the commentators, giving his commentary. He got his eyes out on Hook. They have this beef going on, but not an on-site type of beef. It's more of a, let's see where this beef goes and maybe we'll just take it to the pay-per-view type of beef. Now, that's what it looks like. It looks like we might see Wheeler Yuta and Hook for the pure title at Ring of Honor Final Battle pay-per-view. That's where I'm guessing we're going with things here. Now, Hook being in this situation where this is like a comedy type of thing with Danhausen and them, it just feels like he shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? I get it. He's trying to hang out with Orange Cassidy, who's supposed to be over as fuck with whoever he is over as fuck with. But I just feel like Hook could be doing other things. Now, the other day, for those of you who heard Triple H's comments after Survivor Series about Jade Cargill being limited, definitely throwing a shot with how inexperienced she is based off the things that she's done in AEW without actually having to say all that. When he said that, like 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, I felt the same way about Hook even before he said that. Hook and a couple of other people who are in AEW who are not necessarily getting the treatment that it should get. Sure, Hook has a lot of wins. He was almost perfect. Probably got like 3 losses in AEW so far. And it's like, well, we've not seen him in opportunities where we can see the best of Hook. Hardly been able to see that. So for me, it's like, I get it. He got experience in the ring with doing these multi-man matches, but ultimately, it's just a whole bunch of comedy shit that he's not even a part of. Hook is not funny, you guys. What is Hook doing in this match? Anyway, Danhausen have the purple hat again. It's nice to see Danhausen in the ring. He's someone, I look at him and I just love the way he looks. You know, that's why I got a poster of him on my wall. I got some of his t-shirts. I just love looking at him. He's a horror fan too, just like me. And I just love seeing him. However, we get the very nice Danhausen, not the very evil Danhausen. So, yeah, that means this is all for shits and giggles. He had the purple hat thing, which sets off Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Jake Hager. I mean, there's a whole bunch of foolishness going on. You guys already know the babyface team ends up winning. And if this is a way to get Hook some experience in the ring, this is not the way. He should be able to do some one-on-one matches. If he gotta lose, then he's gonna fucking lose. That's how babies learn how to fucking walk. You gotta crawl, you know? So anyway, they win, and it seems like maybe we'll get Hook and Wheeler Yuta for the pay-per-view. And if that's the case, I'm good with that because Hook really feels like he would fit in a pure division, and I think that would work really well for him to be partaking in pure rules matches. I think that would fit him really, really well. So now we have Anna Jay, Saraya, and Ruby Soho. They are teaming up in trios action. And Anna Jay, she don't know what's going on with the other 2 girls, but they need to get it together because she needs a W tonight. Now, while she's talking, here comes Angela Parker creeping on in, talking about, let's get ready for your match, Anna. I'll be ringside with you. And I'm just like, because your girl's going to be ringside. You're going to be over there, possibly shacked up with her in the corner. No, thank you, bro. And Anna Jay tells him to kick rocks. She doesn't want him ringside. And honestly, I totally understand. Now, after this, we have Tony Schiavone in the ring with Ric Flair and Sting, and they're just talking, name dropping legends that they've been in the ring with. They're talking about historical matches and all these things, and I'm just like, y'all kind of just did this like an hour ago on Dynamite. It really felt like, hey, we just did a live taping of Dynamite. we're going to tape Rampage. These motherfuckers are still in the building. Let's use them again. It felt like that, and really, it just really wasn't needed. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when Sting name drops the Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow, I was just like, oh my God, I was not thinking I'll be crying so soon. You know, there's certain wrestlers, I hear their names, and I'm just like so emotional. He's one of those for me. Now, you know, I really, really do appreciate these legends being used on TV, or maybe if there's anything going on backstage with these guys, cool. However, we don't always have to put them on TV and kind of make it seem like they're just there just to be there. You want them to feel like every time they come out that they're there for something important. What I do feel like is that there's a huge possibility that Rick is going to turn on Sting right before that match, or maybe a month or so before then, and that will make things more interesting for Sting's last match. Y'all know Ric Flair. He's that type of dude that would definitely do that. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen Ric Flair did a tweet or whatever talking about how he would leave AEW if he's embarrassing AEW and Tony Khan. And a whole bunch of other wrestlers came to the rescue and basically told him that, you know, he's not an embarrassment. He's, you know, yes, he's an old man and he's out there in front of the crowd and he's being there trying to be supportive for Sting and all that stuff. Now, when I read what he said, I felt a little something for him. I felt a little sympathy. I was just like, I get it. You know, a lot of people don't want you there. I personally am sick and tired of seeing your advertisement of your energy drink. But I get it. You're a legend, and I think you're a shitty human being. But you're there for your best friend. You're trying to support him in what is the last leg of his career. A lot of people don't support you, and I do think some of those reasons are valid. It is what it is. However, I don't feel bad for Ric Flair. If people have negative things to say about you, you've definitely given people negative things to say about you. But either way, I'm not bothered with Ric Flair being there as support for Sting in his, later career. It is what it is, you guys. We really didn't need them on Rampage. So earlier we did see the heel team in the ladies trios match. So now we have Hikaru Shida, Chris Statlander, and Sky Blue. They're bickering backstage about being losers. And you know what? I get it. Two of them just lost their titles, and then Sky Blue lost an opportunity to get a title. So I get it. Losers with a capital L. Now, they're going to be teaming up, and obviously they got to be on the same page for their match. Now, after this, we do have the Don Callis family that comes out. We have Powerhouse Hobbs, Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher. They're wearing red and black, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, I'm digging the colors. It looks great on you guys. Now, they're going against some jobbers. I didn't even catch their names, but two of them looked familiar to me. The thing was so quick that I didn't really get a chance to even recognize anybody. I'm going to put it this way. Uncle Don, he has a very interesting group of young men that are to be the future of AEW. Putting them in squash matches is not the way to go. These guys are super talented. We've seen Takeshita in 4 5-star matches, okay? And he should not be in the ring for 2 seconds. We've seen Kyle Fletcher in amazing matches in AEW and New Japan. I don't know if you guys watch New Japan, but he and Mark Davis were killing it earlier this year. They were the tag team belt collectors too earlier this year, if you guys remember. Now, obviously, Mark Davis being injured, he's on his own, and I do think he's doing great on his own. However, if you guys keep putting him in situations for him to be in the ring for 3 minutes tops, we're not going to see how well he can actually do all on his own. So in this situation, I feel like this is a missed opportunity for these young guys. Put them in some real matches where we can see them for like 10 minutes doing their thing as individuals, as a trios, or even a tag team, whatever the situation is. I did state before that I would love to see Powerhouse Hobbs and Takeshita. I want to see what kind of chemistry they have as a team. Perhaps if they do have great chemistry, they can go against Big Bill and Ricky Starks in some kind of feud for those tag titles, and it'll be great to see four young guys who haven't gotten a lot of opportunity in the business, a lot of opportunity in AEW to be feuding with each other. And that's what we want. We don't always have to put these young guys with more established stars that's been there, done that. Put all the young guys together and see what they can cook up in the ring. That's what I want to see. But anyway, squash match. You guys already know Don Callis' family wins. After that, Uncle Don gets on the mic. And the second he says, Kenny, everybody's booing him. The boos are drowning everything that he's saying. We don't even know. We need to know what he's saying. Long story short, they're going to have this little reign of terror in AEW until they can get their hands on the Golden Grandmas, which is Omega and Jericho. And then once they get their hands on them, they'll be able to put a stop to Kenny Omega. That's all Don Callis live for nowadays. The demise of Kenny Omega. And over my dead body, Don Callis. Not while I'm alive. So now we have trios actions with the ladies. We have Hikaru Shida teaming up with Chris Statlander and Sky Blue versus Saraya, Ruby Soho, and Anna Jay. Now, both of these teams, they do have a little bit of trouble in paradise. We do have Chris Statlander and Sky Blue, who are obviously not on the same page, especially both of them losing an opportunity, one to retain the TBS title and the other to gain the TBS title. And Hikaru Shida is in the middle of this playing peacemaker and like, bitches, get together. We have a match to win. And then on the other side, we do have Saraya, who's obviously having issues with Ruby Soho, and Anna Jay obviously having issues with Ruby because of Angela, whatever. It's a whole bunch of mess. Now, this match is pretty decent with these ladies. I really wish that we can see a little bit more of some of these girls. I would not mind seeing 2 women's matches on one of these shows. If they don't do it on Dynamite, why not on Rampage? Or 2 women's matches on Collision, so we can see more of what these ladies have to offer. Like I said, since there are some issues in this match, it makes it a little bit predictable in terms of who's going to win here. Obviously, the babyface team does take a win. Ruby accidentally kicks Anna Jay, and from there, Sky Blue takes the advantage. It goes for a pin and takes the win for the team. And then you see Ruby and Anna Jay getting into it after the match. Wouldn't be surprised to see these 2 girls going one-on-one at some point, especially with the storyline with Angelo Parker smack in the middle of it. So that does make things a little interesting. I do want to see where things go when it comes to Ruby and Angelo, but also I want to see more of these ladies. You know, I've actually been wanting to do a review on some of the best matches that I've seen this year for the month of December, and I'm struggling a little bit to find things when it comes to the ladies, particularly in AEW, because it just seems like they have not necessarily taken full advantage of how talented some of these ladies are. So when it comes to my list of the best female matches that I've seen in AEW for 2023, the list is very, very short. We gotta fix that for 2024. All right, you guys, main event time. So right before the main event, we did have Prince Nana and Brian Cage. They are looking to recruit some people into the Mogul Embassy. Well, maybe temporarily, I don't know. We do have the Gates of Agony, who have been in the New Japan Tag League tournament. So they've been gone for like 2 weeks now, and they better come back soon because the 6-man tag titles better be up for grabs at the Final Battle pay-per-view. But anyway, they end up getting the Workhorsemen. They're talking about how great they are in the ring and all that stuff to get them to, you know, come to the dark side and end up tagging with Brian Cage in the main event. Now, Prince Nana says that if they win and do a good job, you know, they'll be able to maybe squeeze them into the Mogul Embassy. And you know what? The Workhorsemen, they're feeling the offer. They're like, hey, we'll take it. So now we have our main event. We have Penta and El Hijo de Vikingo, Commander versus Brian Cage and the Workhorsemen. Now, this is the best match of the night. Now, you guys know, when we got our luchadors in the ring, we're going to see some pretty good shit. Now, we do have a really great match here, and we do have Brian and the Workhorsemen getting on the same page. However, towards the end, we actually had Brian and Pitch Nana saying, you know what, fuck this. So we got better things to do. And end up leaving the Workhorsemen in the ring to fend for themselves. And obviously, 3 against 2, right, we're not liking those odds. And we do have the Workhorsemen that end up taking the L. They're definitely not going to want to be part of the Mobile Embassy at this point. Now, look, the match was great or whatnot, but at the end of the day, this could have been a much more entertaining show. I think they know that Rampage is probably not the best show that they have, so they just put whatever they feel like they could put on there. And, you know, people are not going to be watching because the ratings are pretty low if you guys have been paying attention to those things. And honestly, it could be a lot better. You think at some point they're probably going to get rid of Rampage, and I wouldn't mind that. If not, why not just use Rampage to have more females on those shows, have some of their storylines play out, have at least 2 women's matches on there? Like, what's the problem? You guys are wasting time with segments that are definitely not needed. You guys are wasting time with squash matches. Why not put these ladies in the ring? You guys brought Abaddon out for fucking Halloween, and all she's been doing is posting sexy pictures on Patreon that I like. Other than that, she's not doing anything else. You guys got a whole bunch of ladies who are not being used to the fullest potential, and they could be on at least Rampage. I could dedicate at least an episode of just women's only, something, so these ladies can feel appreciated. We had Britt Baker, who complained the other day on social media about her having 0 promo time this year. And I'm trying to remember, when did I see Britt Baker this year? Honestly, I just don't remember. But at the end of the day, we could do a little bit better with Rampage. It's a mid-episode. If you got an hour to kill, go ahead and watch it. But really, I don't recommend anything from this. So yes, once again, I'm the sacrificial lamb when it comes to Rampage. But guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back tomorrow with Collision. Now that's gonna be a good show.